I have air conditioning full blasting in the apartment, plus I'm like sitting between two fans. It's bearable. It's bearable, I would say. You may skip. I will go through all of it. I did some pulls on Sunday. I said I will not, but I did it. I didn't get him. I only had like 30 pulls, so not much. Where do we have to go? Yeah, skip and start. We know what happened. We don't need to relive it once again. This is where we gotta go. We'll skip everything, no reading whatsoever. Let's go. Oh my god, that's a that's a big declaration. Alright, he is still sitting there. I forgot. I forgot we left him here. Oh no. Also funny thing, like, you know, I have a very demanding project with very short deadlines. And 2 weeks ago, me and other lead got asked to go through a list of stuff we promised to deliver until end of July. And we made that list. We established what we can deliver during that time, what we commit to, we sign it. And funny thing, today it turned out that someone changed that file after we signed it and promised way more things. Hi, Wilbur. And I was like, what the actual heck? Like, how could you do that? There's gonna be such a big drama tomorrow. Like, today, my lead, like, there's a lead of leads, and the lead of leads, like, when he saw my reaction to that, he was like, yeah, you know, we can start a drama tomorrow. Just take some rest, because I was so beaten, because that would require us to have, like, 14 more people on board. And all the requirements set, and we don't have that. I did fire that lazy guy, yeah. He's gonna be still with us in the project for 2 weeks. He did not understand the accusations, including the ones for him not showing up on the meetings and permanently being late, which was kinda funny because he was late 10 minutes to that 15-minute call of ours. So, before that call, I was stressed. I was still, like, double-checking myself if I really should, but after waiting for him for 10 minutes for that one-on-one, all my empathy went away. Probably. I mean, I'm not blaming him completely, because that technology was new to him, but it was very close to what he's normally doing. And other people in our project who are in the same situation, like, transitioned within, like, a day or two, and he took a month. And he was on a very, pretty much very high level compared to them. So that just didn't make sense. That just actually didn't make sense. And he didn't even try. Like, all the other devs, I can actually focus on, like, design, documentation, architecture and stuff. And I can just tell them, we need to deliver this, and that. Here is all the requirements that I managed to get for you. Here is all the information that I have for that functionality. But if you are missing something, you need to go to person A for the design, to person B for the backend implementation. And that was completely fine. Like, they were able to deliver, like, a lot of things in a very short period of time. But this guy never even asked any questions. And he never delivered fully. For example, the typical task would require you to create a view, but majority of the views we already have created as a static views, and connect the views with the backend. And what he would do was he would change a little bit of styles in the views, not even touch the backend integration, and be like, oh yeah, I'm done with that task. And you are like, no, you're not. No, this is not how it, no. Also, one of the biggest part for React Native is so-called new architecture, and one of his tasks he just simply removed it. And we were like, what in the world? Why would you do that? But yeah, he was pretty shocked. I still feel a little bit bad that I'm not able to give him some time to try to like fix his behavior. But given the short project deadline and the fact that he was onboarded to like end of September anyhow, and that we needed someone in his place, I just like Funny thing, what my coworker noticed is that he is having a business, a side business aside from work, and that side business is him selling some games and having like his own small studio. So we have a strong feeling that during his work hours he was mostly focused on this and not actually on the project, based on his inability to show up, inability to respond and stuff like that. But well, that doesn't matter for us. It actually started to behave it actually started to affect the rest of the team, and that was the most important part for me. I could not agree to stuff like that, because my team is too important for me to let their morale go down because of one guy like that. So it had to be done. But yeah, I was super beaten today. Like, I went in on a call to help a friend to figure out something, and he was like, by the way, do you know that you actually have to deliver this entire application? And I'm like, wait, what do you mean I need to deliver? That was like moved away from the scope for that part. And he was like, well, check the file that we created. And I went to this file, and we were with our lead, and my face went completely blank. And yeah, it turned out that they added shit ton of stuff. And when we said that we're gonna deliver in the first phase 10% of that application, that actually changed it to 95%. And it turned out they actually did that in some other components too. So yeah, there's gonna be huge drama around it. Because that is simply impossible. We just cannot do that. Okay. So, that story is probably like at least 5 hours long. I'm not sure if we will be able to finish it all today. I will definitely try. 1 second. I want to check the schedule. Leftover Star Rail for tomorrow. Yeah, so I did plan it that we might not be able to finish. We are not skipping the button as the here for the content. How will you know the story if I skip the story? Think about it. I'm your only way to know what happens in the story. I don't think that we will be able to help him in any way. It's a long story. Let's deal with that guy first. You don't really care about more. So, which region story did you like the most? I'm still very curious what will be the next region. And I was reading some wild theories today about how Genshin's world and Teyvat is actually the past of Star Rail. The one with body scenes, also the one on Lofu, the last one on Lofu with Fei Xiao, right? That was pretty cool. I mean, I like the story of Amphorius. It's not really my type of vibe with all this Greek tragedy, but I like the story itself. The problem is I don't like how it was executed. Like, for me, what they could do is literally just freaking drop a movie. Just make it one big cutscene that you can stop at any moment and watch later on. Hi, Flankara. You missed me dissing my job. Imagine that someone actually changed the file I signed. I signed that we will deliver like some stuff, and after I signed it and my friend signed it too, to declare what we will deliver until the end of July, someone changed the file and added stuff. And it now looks as if we promised that we're gonna deliver it. And I was so down because of it that my manager was just like, yeah, no, Nyaehh, just take a break. We're gonna go back to it tomorrow. So tomorrow's gonna be drama at work. Yeah, cool stuff. I was shocked. And the best part is that we have business analysts, and every business analyst is responsible for a different application. So I went to the guy who's responsible for that application that we suddenly need to deliver like 100%, and I was like, did you know that we're not delivering only 10% but 90%? And he was like, no, who told you that? And I'm like, well, this big file that we signed last week. So he's also shocked. Everyone is shocked. I mean, I think Finon will be fine. I don't think we need to worry about Finon. Out of all the people here, I would not worry about Finon. Also, apparently there was pretty cool teaser for today's story. The problem is that someone told me that there are spoilers in it. Big spoilers. So that's why we're not watching it. That's why we're just jumping in. Like, we're gonna spoil ourselves the story by playing the story. I said what I said. We're not gonna use other spoilers. I just feel like someone should stay behind. I am the bone of my sword. I remember the first time I watched the Fate anime. That was so freaking cool. Like, Rin Tosaka was like one of my favorites. I loved Saber. Hi, Jedi. Cypher. I cried like a baby at the ending sequence of Fate anime, the first one. When Arthur was dying. And like the music, I have shivers even thinking about it. That was so freaking cool. I liked Archer too. Archer was a bit edgy, but his sequences were also pretty cool. I mean, the first anime hit me pretty strong. I didn't like this how the story progressed and how many spin-offs there were, so I ditched it at some point. But when it comes to like the first anime, I really liked it. It was pretty cool. Is he suicidal since he wants to kill his old human self? Oh my dear lord. Well, actually, because you know that I will be moving, right? But it's still like in progress, and I have like a lot of stuff, like even stuff that my mom left when she did the initial move now. So I kind of need to like use it up, like 10 different shampoos and stuff like that. And maybe some of you know that sometimes some people delay their suicide until, for example, they finish their shampoo or they finish their chapstick. And I was talking with mom yesterday and I was like, I feel like someone who's about to log off the reality. Finishing all that stuff up just to avoid becoming heroic spirit. I mean, I think a lot of immortal people or immortalized people or beings would actually take a shot at killing themselves before they achieved immortality. It must be fun, but only for some time. And oftentimes it is portrayed that if an immortal has a partner that is also immortal, don't use appendices automatically delete and replace your browser history. So it's often portrayed in media that if you have an immortal and they have a partner, then they don't suffer the consequences of immortality because they are not feeling lonely. And there is this very cool movie with Tilda Swinton and Tom Hiddleston called Only Lovers Left Alive. And it's actually about a couple of vampires who lived together for centuries. And apart from a very nice breakdown of how human relationships work, it also touches this area of being immortal and feeling lonely despite not being alone. So I can highly recommend that movie.
それについて一つ提案があり、誰だ？
Who's
ナ
there?
シビトの二人にお伝えできればと。
How the heck did he get here?
スクリューガム下がれ。10歩の距離を保て。落ち着け。彼は敵ではない。
ご無沙汰しております。請求列車のあの国威の者がさらなる危害を加えてくる前に間に合ってよかったです。あれは
It was good to see familiar faces, but what are you doing here? I mean, he came with Hertha, right? But they were not able... It was said that if they interfere with the world, they might break it. I mean, I was fanboying all over Fate a few years ago, but now I barely check the fandom, I see. I mean, we have one of those viewers, right, who's like really interested in Steins, and they always astonish me because they just come in and they remember such bizarre facts about it. Like lately it was like heights of different characters and stuff. I mean, I adore the dedication. This isn't just not something I think I would be able to pull off. I always had this tendency when I was fanboying over something or fangirling or whatever, I tended to take from the main story what I liked, and I liked to build on the top of that story, like create my own version of how I think it could work to fully satisfy all my unsatisfied parts. Everyone has their one obsession, yeah, pretty much. Oh, by the way, I got 400 Jades code from a coworker for Zenless Zone Zero. He was like, I have this weird code that I got from my Intel subscription. Do you want it? Because you mentioned you're playing Zenless Zone Zero. And I'm like, I mean, nah, I'm fine. Like, I'm following all those channels. And then he was like, no, girl, listen. A code from an Intel subscription. Do you have it? Because it's account bound. And I'm like, well, no, Gib. So yeah, I got that code. Nyaehh, fun, big author. I was when I was a child, in a sense. When I was like 13 and 14, I ended up being on Harry Potter inspired chat rooms. And this might sound weird, but I found my best friend there. Like, I've met her when I was 13. We met first time when I was like 23. And yeah, we are friends for years, and we had periods of time when we were not talking at all, and every time we started talking again, it was like we never stopped. And she's like very, 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 very important part of my life, even though we don't meet that often. I've met some like other friends through that chat as well, and through one of the friends that I met that I'm still in contact with, but we're like not the close friends anymore. And through one of the people I met there, I then met my first boyfriend of a few years. So that was pretty wild, like the butterfly effect of going into the freaking Harry Potter chat room, right? And making your elixir homework on the chat. But yeah, because there's like a lot of girls in a similar age, we actually did write fanfics. We were writing Harry Potter inspired fanfics, obviously, but we were often mixing it with other stories and other fandoms that we were following. So there were like quite a few of them, and we were like, I mean, my best friend is still writing. She's quite huge on Wattpad, and thank God she's not doing this weird young adult or like some weird fairy porn or other types of books, but she's actually writing pretty nice book, and I'm currently helping her sometimes. Every time she makes a new chapter, I get to read it first because I need to proofread it. I met my best friend 15 years ago in the chat room of an old Flash game website. I mean, one of my closest friends I met 5 years ago in League of Legends. And that was also such a bizarre moment because I had this time when I really enjoyed League of Legends, or rather, I played a lot. If I enjoyed it, I mean, hard to say. I was in a state in life that I had to play League of Legends, so let's put it this way. And one night, I've seen someone in my lobby with a Polish name, and I made a joke around it. But that person didn't respond. And we went into the game, it was a ranked game, and that person was permanently AFK, but was moving just enough not to trigger the ability to surrender because you have AFK teammate. And they were dueling with the jungle. I was playing mid lane, and we also had like a bot lane, and me and bot lane were trying our best. And our jungler, obviously he was friends with the guy the Polish guy who was trolling. He was also trolling for majority of the time. The game took over an hour. I think it was like an hour and a half. And for majority of the time it was 3v5 because we had two people who were either trolling or being AFK. And we tried so hard that our jungler started to feel bad about trolling, and he started to play normally. And he was actually pretty good because I think he was like a challenger at that time on his main account. So we were already permanently had more kills and more everything, but it's pretty hard to defend your base when there's only 3 of you against 5 people. And one of you is Soraka. So we had Soraka bot lane along with Jinx, and I was playing Lux on mid lane. So at some point we could not just, like, the tanks were too much. We were able to protect our base, but we were not able to push further. So the fact that our jungler started to play, that was very helpful. And after the game, I added the jungler because I added everyone who actually tried in that game. And we played a few more games, and then we started to talk on Discord. And I remember I sent them Polish meme and I translated it, and they are like, no, but I know Polish. And I'm like, what do you mean I know Polish? And he was like, yeah, I'm Polish. And I'm like, okay, why didn't you tell me if you knew that I also speak Polish? And he was like, well, I didn't think that was important. And I'm like, yeah, sure, that actually wasn't that important, right? Oh, exactly my reaction. And that was not even the weirdest part, because we talked, we chatted and played for every single day for 2 months, and by pure chance I've learned that this girl I'm playing with is actually a guy. I'm like, I mean, that also doesn't matter, but every time I referred to you as a girl, you didn't say anything. Talking to you about makeup and other like stupid girly stuff, and you just didn't tell me you're not interested. But yeah, we are still friends. We played some other games. We don't play games anymore together, but we're still in contact. Also, funny thing, when he had something to do in my city, because I've never met him IRL, I've never spoke with him on a voice chat. But for example, when I was moving out from my previous apartment, I still had it for like a month, and I was still paying for it for a month. It was just empty. And he had to do something in my city. So I left the key for the apartment at the reception desk, addressed to him, and I told him, well, you gotta stay in my city for like 5 days. Why would you take an Airbnb when I'm literally paying for the empty apartment? So yeah, he lived at my place for 5 days, and I've still never met him. That is pretty weird if you think about it. But yeah, he's like one of my best friends. Also one of the most annoying friends, because he sometimes does like small favors for me. For example, you know, I was stuck in Withering Waves the other time, and he's actually actively playing Withering Waves, and he did a part of the story for me because I was actually losing my mental. But every time he logs into any of my accounts, he always makes some weird changes. Like, he completely changes the personality of the account, and he puts on very, 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 very weird status messages on it. So I'm kind of like used to have very weird status messages at this point. But yeah, he's a really good friend, and if I need him for something, he's very helpful. And thank God he can help me with Wuthering Waves, because sometimes I get stuck, and the problem is I want to give the game a chance. But if I get too stuck with the story, because for example there's annoying part to do, I started to hate the game more, and I don't want it. So that's where he chimes in.
こちらのアンティキシラ人の方とはお知り合いなのですか？彼は俺たちを迎えに来た。
By the Omnis I shall smite you. I liked Victor. I was very, very sad because in Chinese version of Arcane, the actor behind Victor was Luo Yingxi, and you might already know that Luo Yingxi is one like my favorite Chinese male actor. So I was really, really hyped to see it. And I was watching Arcane with Zippy, and he was watching in English, I was watching in Chinese, and then Victor showed up on the screen, and I was like, yes, 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 yes. Now I'm gonna see Luo Yingxi in his like voice acting persona. And he started to talk, and he had like this distorted voice, and I'm like, that sounds weird, but maybe his voice got distorted so much. But then every time he spoke normal as well, that was clearly not him. And then I checked it, and they actually changed the voice actor for him and for one more person for the global version of the show. I was super, super sad about it. I actually need to start clicking that story, otherwise we'll never see it. Oh, when we finish, because we know that we'll probably not finish the story today, so we'll be probably finishing the story tomorrow, and tomorrow we're also gonna see the pain and suffering, because I will be doing the new Imaginarium Theater. It actually resets today. I think we are prepared well, because the main elements that are taking part in this part of theater are cryo, pyro, and hydro. No, I was never intending on pulling for Finon. I did like 30 pulls on Sunday though, so I can use my Aglia, right? So given that we have C6, Ganyu, Skirk, Ayaka, and few other cryo characters like Charlotte and the sleepy girl that I forgot her name. We have, for Hydra, we have Yelan, we have... I mean, I think my Mona is C5, even if she's not like really full build. We have Furina, we have Nuvilette, we have Mualani. So that we're set on that one. And for Pyro, we have Mavika, we have Arlecchino, we have Hutao, we have the Chevreuse. I think we should be okay on that theater. Like, obviously there's a lot of Gamba, but I think it shouldn't be that annoying. Maybe we will even do it today when I'll be like too tired with the story anymore. But yeah, I did not pull for Finon. He was never my priority. I didn't even intend to pull on Sunday, but I decided that I will give it few pulls so I can actually use my Aglia. I feel like I was the only person at time playing Victor. In Season 1, he had a below 0.5% pick rate in Ranked, so massive advantage since hardly anyone knew how to play it against him. Bro, I still don't know how to play against him. I freaking hate him. For example, I played Lux a lot, and Oriana a lot. And when it comes to those two characters, I knew them so well that even if someone picked a counter against them, like, I don't know, Zed, Yasuo or something like that, I was completely fine. Fizz always totally obliterated me. Fizz was very annoying, and I'm pretty sure he still is. But every time I met Victor, I was just torn into pieces. I had one situation when I played against Fizz, and during that time I was already pretty okay against to play against the Fizz. But he had a duo with Jungler, so I was locked, I had Fizz against me, and I had Twitch in the jungle. They bullied me so hard that I think it was 7th minute and I was already defending the base, not even the first turret, the base turret. That's how bullied I got. That was so bad. Hi, Emperor. That was actually freaking horrible to play. I am kind of disappointed that it's Crewman who appeared, because I would rather have Herta here. Is a world constructed from data and memoria, an experimental field of a certain eon. What? How am I? That is very, 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 very hard question. I'm torn between a hype, between being tired, between being annoyed, between being excited, and there's a lot of emotions in me right now. And how are you? Also, if Nyaehh wasn't one of the sounds that we actually use here, I would certainly ban the phrase. I don't know why. I don't want to sound a bitchy, but I might sound bitchy, but I'm kind of allergic to shorten my name like this. Like, the whole full name is very, very important for me. But I saw that a lot of people on Twitter actually do that they permanently tend to drop a lot of letters in other people's names and just make it into like 3-letter word. And I'm like, I don't want to be a 3-letter word. I have more. My eye is itchy. Okay, so it was a path of remembrance, and now it's rapidly falling into a path of destruction. Why are you bullying me? I'm good. I'm finally starting my therapy for my hand tomorrow. Oh, I hope that will help you. Sorry, I won't shorten. Don't be easily misunderstood. It's fine. I will never hold it against someone, but I will always correct people on that one because, as I said, I'm a little bit weird when it comes to that. I'm not skipping as the care. Don't say that. I'm not gonna ask details about your hand, but I hope it helps. Can I skip stream? Yes, you can. You can press the X button. Not skipping. A large ravager will complete its evolution in metamorphosis and emerge from the surging tides. Ah, that sounds like Fantilia. What do you mean, not? Its goal is the Aeon of Erudition. What? I mean, I have the skip button here, right? Look how amazing it is. And it changes the color when I hover over it. Don't click it, never. Never. I click it religiously in Wuthering Waves. Religiously. And every time there is a scene that I cannot skip, I get so pissed. And that's because I'm not really into the story of that game. I hope to get into it, but I just want to catch up with everything there was so I can just do my stuff and do the next stories and just like catch up with it in form of like some VOD or something. I will shoulder the responsibility. Oh no. Every time I see someone mentioning shouldering responsibility or stuff like that, I instantly think about the Jyosuke's model. I just, every time, carry something on their shoulders and I just see those broad arms of his. I'm broken. オンパロスはすでに末日を迎えようとしているんだ。残っている人ご覧ください。The heck is this? Chronognative anchor. The two of you may view it as a kind of space anchor in the world of erudition. Okay, so if this world is data, where are our physical bodies? Or are we the only physical beings in this world? Or is data also turned into physical objects in this world. I wouldn't say so because we have like a lot of those stuff that like overlap, right?
もちろんこれは無制限に使用できる器物ではありません。
Ah, he's breaking.
を受けたため、それとその1、ライコスという名のオールクが全ての現実を
Ligus.
美月さんは
Miss March has already been drawn into Amphorius. What? I mean, that was kind of expected because she's freaking stuck in ice, right? But that means that we need to retrieve her before we go anywhere. Oh, that's the first time we see March in ages. He's the opposite of us. Like, everyone in Europe is currently crying about the heat wave, and she's crying about being cold.
頭がクラクラする。目の前にウーボがいっぱい飛んでるみたい。
Why can she see Woobaboos?
あれ？うちさっきまで姫子たちと話してたよね。
So she doesn't even remember going to bed.
あ、そういえばあの子が教えてくれたっけ？クリフォトに一別される前に行ったところがあるって。まさかうち変な運命に最近なんかすごいことでもしたっけ？パムを無理やり着せかもしかしてアッハ優越の運命ってそんなに簡単に歩めちゃう？記憶の小よ進め狭間の奥へ。誰？もうびっくりさせないで。誰でもいいから直接あれは扉？恐れないで。勇気を持って。
Step forth through the gate of memory. Okay, I'm curious if we will actually get our memories back. Also, does anyone know how I can get the other pet? Oh, this is where he is. Okay, I got the proper pet. They're lying to you. But who's lying to me?
あれはラフの大木？フゲ？それと隣のメッセンジャー。また会ったよね、ミツキ。
Why her eyes are so dead?
思い出した。前に休館の陣を使ってうち記憶空間で最後に会ったのはメッセン。君の命の価値は過去ではなく今。そして
Her probably will be a choice to stay as Mord or accept her fellow self as Kirana or whatever her Kirana. Kirana? I think her name was Kirana Kaslana. But I don't think she's Kirana Kaslana. We have Fainon for that, right? To be one of Kaslana's. But I think it will be more of a choice that we either stay as March or we know ourselves, but that means we will not be nameless anymore. Serene, that's her name. They are pretty similar, but I don't think that they're exactly the same. But they could also look a little bit different, even if they are part of the same soul, right?
君の記憶ガーデンオブリコレ今はまだガーデンに君が何かを支払う価値はないかもしれないがだから進んでくれうちはあの扉をついてきなさい記憶の門をくぐり
Someone said that they are lying to me and I wonder if that voice was thinking about them.
あなたの記憶にいる人のふりを悪い人に騙されちゃダメ扉が遠くなってる
That's me. That's literally. It kind of looks like they are not the reflections of real people.
彼女もなのあんたが過去を取り戻して目覚めたら、す その話すごく惹かれ。
迷わずに進め、美月。ついてきてくれ。俺たちと一緒に
But why did the gate move?
くぐってくれ、美月。本当のお前を取り戻すんだ。
早すぎるわ。待って。
It's so annoying that the gate is actually moving away from us.
やっと
Serene?
着いたわ。
Zachary might be right.
あんた大丈夫よ。ただ長い間運動して、それよりもねえなのか、決断する前に。もしかして扉を遠ざけてうちを止めよ。そうよ、自己紹介するわね。私はキュレネ、過去のさざ波。あら、よく見るとあなたと私ってちょっと似てる
I
わ
mean,
ね。
they're both pastel
確
pink.
かにあんたも目を引くピンク髪だしね。それだけじゃないわ。あなたも私も可愛くて明るい。へえ、うまいこと言うじゃん。そういえばさっきなのかって呼んでたけど、うちのこと私たちは初めましてよ。さっき
Her
の
hand is unnaturally big compared to the rest of her body.
私たちの共通点って思ってるより多いかもしれないわ。私、
Hmm.
うちが悩んでることわかるの？ええ、経験したことがあるから。このガランとした場所で。
They also have similar design with their like dresses, although no, that's the original March skin, right?
でも一つ
Not
だ
the
け
dress.
はっきり覚えてるの。あの扉の向こうにあなたが欲しがってるようなこと。
Okay,
じゃあつまり
the gate might not give me what I want, but what will it give me?
ついてたってこと？そうよ。彼らの会話はリアルで魅力的だったでしょ。それはね、悪い人があなたの記憶を除いてあなたの心の奥にある願望を煽ったから。女の子の繊細な気持ちを持てよ。あの扉をくぐってしまえば、最悪の場合あなたは彼らの駒になって。
Game gave you skip button, but then I will not know. That's Alicia for sure.
ここに閉じ込められてるし。
I mean, the entire story with the flame chasers is something that she was involved with, right?
扉の向こうはオンパロス。決してもうずっと人々が記憶の扉に入ってくのを見てることしかできなかった。あの人たちは私が見えないし、私
It
の
also
声が聞こえ
has
ない。
Alicia's voice actress, so you know.
あなたの
If you had any more
声を
doubts.
するなんてできないのよ。
Yep.
うーん、
The fact you're here putting all this effort to warn me, but that means something.
あんたは目の前に現れて時間をかけていろいろ説明してくれたわけだし、信じたいキュレネ。元の世界に戻る方法って簡単よ。
Turn around and walk away from this
一歩
place.
ずつ
And what,
ここから
the eyes will
離れればいい
disappear?
の。
Will that be the case?
その子を信用してはいけない。扉をくぐり、あなたたちは皆記憶の
Wait, so she's gonna be I'm gonna have another remembrance character?
なの。帰りは時間がかかるかもしれない。その先に
I think she's pretty decided.
ありがとうキュレネ。うち決めたよ。
Is she gonna run through that?
くぐって
No,
オンパロスに
no, 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 no. I thought she's gonna be decided on something different.
どうして？安心して。別にキュレネを疑ってるわけじゃないんだ。仲間たちの隣だから。一番大切な二人の友達が先にオンパロスに向かったの。二人とも
There are absolute disasters waiting to happen. Her mother instinct kicked in. She's only coming to save us.
だからこの扉の向こうがオンパロスなら追いかけない理由なんてない。それにうちら3人が揃えばどんな困難だって探索、理解、構築、連携、そして一緒に家に帰る。
Although she does sound like Mem or just me a little bit.
そう、あなたにも命より大切な仲間がいるのに。
Mem is pink for a reason.
話したわ。なのか、あなたが自分で決めたことなら私は応援する。だって私たちはすごく似てるんだもの。
No, pink.
そういうのって普通は自分で言わないでしょう。じゃあそろそろ行くね。
I'm so scared for her.
また会えるかな。どうかしら。
I mean, you know, for fuck's sake, Serene. You know everything.
長い間ここにいるからとっくに想像上のオンパロスがあんたの故郷だって言ったよね。え、じゃあ楽しみにしてるわね。いってらっしゃいなのか。ロマンチックな物語を描けるようここで
Like romantic things, just like Elysia. Okay, 1 second. I need to adjust my AC a bit. 1 second.
どうしたの？何か考え事？創世の歌人、結局戻ってきたね。ここも変わってしまってる。
Yes, Decker, I kinda skipped.
ファイノン、
Kinda
再創生の
skipped
準備できたかな？
because I was outside of my room. Oh, hello! Hello, Mom. I hope this will be okay. So, Marge is coming here to save us, but we send Danheng back.
大丈夫よ。この私が彼の代わりに今、もし機械さんの言う通りオンバロスがいつか壊滅しちゃう運命だったとしても、あなたと炭鉱にとって列車がそうであるみたいに。
Time to see the era never begin.
一緒に。
I'm still not convinced I wanted to see it. First of all, well, I don't see him. Okay, there he is.
ファイノン殿、あなたはその左で旧世界を葬り、万物を灰色の未知へと。
構わないさ。火を追う旅の残酷さの中、未来は暖かな西風が吹くリス。この先にあるのが混沌なら、僕がそれを引き裂こう。そしてその裂け目から君なのかい？
背後には
That's not me.
一筋の希望があるというのに、さすがはカイ。
This is the path I must take, bro.
実を世界はもうじき滅び。
As Kroom said something about Ligis, but he never clarified because he got glitched, right? So we don't know. Kroom says you're behind all this.
なるほど。私が相棒。
それはどういう意味？
This one knows more than he's telling.
確かに僕も疑問に思っていたことがある。ライコス再創生について。
であれば私はもう神霊の慣習を装う。皆様もご存知の通り、神を討伐した後、誰かが柱の役割を担い、しかしケファレの半身が試練を乗り越えられる可能性は常にゼロ。
Skip button saving me so much time.
そう再創生の儀式とはすぐに終わるものではなく、それは来
Until the next world when the black tide consumes the bear and all they carry, leaving nothing behind.
世界を照らす聖なるその日を守り、救世主よ。
これ以上試す必要はない。ただ次の世のため
聞きましょう。
一つ目はアナイクス先生が提唱した
The world will be reborn from my memories. Okay, and the other?
理想のため犠牲になった半身たちも。
もちろんです。
ならいい。彼女がオンパロスの規則に縛られることなく。
残念ですが、それはお約束できます。この世界に関わ
God damn it, did I actually have to screw myself over like this? Trust me, Missionary Nova. Go.
おお、どうやら私の
この世界のためにしてくれた
神霊の慣習の名において前へ進むのです。
君がいなかったら最後まで付き合ってくれて。
神々よ、ごかの輝かしい魂は
彼は純真無垢な子供であり、昨日彼は未生のものの最初。
彼の体育は永遠。彼は将王の頂であり、さすらう者の
金を溶かす天空が彼の脊柱と剣のな。
Oh my god, we have the friendship is magic moment.
彼の美しい新世界のまばゆいを。
そして私たちが愛してやまないこの世界のために。
さあ、相棒。
Restore the final core flame with him.
ここからは最後の偉大な旅になるかも。
I have a bad feeling about this. Like everyone is dead. I have only bad feelings about this, to be honest.
Ah. なんと波乱万丈な冒険か。英雄の旅は終点にたどり着き、再創生の真相も明かされる。しかし本当にそうでしょうか。神霊の慣習としてお願いします。私の話を聞いていただけますでしょうか。
I don't think I want to listen to
これはオンパロス
him.
の本質に関わっている。いわば生命の第一原因をめぐる物語。とはいえ、この命題はそうですね。
The Big Bang, the birth of particles, the emergence of all things. And he has Herta behind him.
冗談です。私が言いたいのは、時間、空間、あなたがよく知っているアナクサゴラス殿も。
Everything in Amphorius exists in those force, living in the memories of those yet to come.
いとも簡単。しかし、覚えていますでしょうか。
ならば、最初の知性の種。
それはまさに。
What is the prime mover of life? But let aside the group's teaching for now. We'll look further past Amphorius to what they call the forbidden realms beyond the sky.
そう。知恵を名目にした、それらはセプターと呼ばれる。凡人には想像もできないほど。
Being the part of eons, cognition, and birth, scattered throughout the cosmos, these arrays act as celestial body neurons for knowns.
実は誰にも知られていないこともあるのです。忘れ去られたそれらの演算機は、これでようやくオンパロスの真相に仮に。
What if, hypothetically, a scepter found the answer to the prime mover of life? If through endless solitary explorations in the cosmic cult, the one deemed as a failure by the Eon of erudition found proof through the ages. What would happen? Perhaps the answer is simpler than you think. From a perishing neuron, it evolved into true life, reborn through the gaze of another Eon. Did he freaking try to create life from destruction? Act 1 Departure. Continue onward bearing the world upon your shoulders until the ashen hero, the nameless deliverer, ushers in the dawn.
変な夢前にも見た気がするけど起きたら全部忘れちゃっているんだよな。ただ、
Rise and shine. Oh, why am I here?
変な夢を見たはずなんだけど。
Am I gonna live through like centuries in this world?
昨日もう一回新宅その
What is this place?
あなたが見ている景色はケファレの火種を背負うまだ幼かった少年の心には英雄主義的な棒に支えられたかかしを時には
That's
自
pretty
分が
cute.
巨人を倒し世界
Are we seeing his childhood?
鋭いですね。これは彼の最初の記憶。ファイノン殿の最も大切な一生涯の相棒。
Who could possibly be there his entire life?
この栄夜の帳に包まれ物語が展開していく中で
Let's talk with him. I wonder if we will be able to like explore this area later on.
目は覚めたかい？
よーファイノンどこ行くんだキュレネは一緒じゃないのか
I like her outfit.
あ、やっぱりここにいた。
彼女は
She even does like the same type of head nod like Alicia. It's you!
なんでもないわ。ただ、あら、ファイノンたら髪に葉っぱがついてるわ。
僕はもう大人だ。
そうかしら。確かに背は私より高くなったけど、大人っぽさだったら英雄の物語を空想して、その登場人物にあなたもそう思うでしょ？でも、また彼のおふざけに。
Either I'm honey fried truffle.
今日の設定はまだ決まってないみたいだ。
じゃあ前のを使う？違法？
それはもういい。それよりほら今日は新宅カード占い。
そのことなんだけど、少し前にね、ぼんやりとした声が聞こえて。
君も見たのかい？
もしかしてあなた？それで思い出したのが、小さい頃よく遊んでた。
子供たちと来たら王や勇者みたいないいカードを引いた時は大喜びだ。でも引き直せるって。
子供は幸せよね。神様はエリュシオンの隅で起きたことに気づくはずないって。でも運命が
We never know just how far into the future the prophecy extends.
昔みんなで
いくつか心当たりがあるから。
Oh my dear lord, we're gonna be looking for things. Ah. You know, there's one type of quests I always hated when playing like MMOs. And that always was the escort quest. Oh my dear lord, those were horrible.
村の真ん中にある。
あな寝室鬼没な。あら？無視。でも。
Okay, it's not here. Let's try the roof.
屋上に上がるのは。
よし。それじゃ。
屋上からの景色。まだ見てないや。
Is that where the roof is? It is. Also, but I must admit that this house is actually pretty nice. I could live in it.
目の前の少女には隠された秘密があるが、あなたは考えずにはいられなかった。
エリュシオンで心残りがある場所といったら。どうしたの？私は村の占い師だけど、まだ時間を巻き、幼い頃からおぼろげに神託が聞こえてたからか。でも占いを繰り返すうちに運命に迷い溜まっているあの
神託カード見つけたよ。
Oh, he found it. Looks like he won this race.
すぐ行くわ。や、
ほら、これが神託カードを入れ。
あら？肝心のカードがないわ。
ん？下にあるのは。
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, stamped, pauper. Cipher.
勝手に言葉を変えないでくれ。
わかった。
それって。
ええ、庭の裏。
入り口はどこだっけ？
この辺りよ。
An entrance.
覚えていないのかい？さあ、やるぞ。この道で合っていると思うけど。あそこだ。あの木の。入
ったら、はったまましばらく進んで。
どうだろう。
Sounds like some secret society, huh?
子供の頃の僕たちにとって。さて、とりあえず。
お先にどうぞ。
え？じゃ。
でもこれで、実は。
I don't know, when I saw the cute note left by the fairies, my intuition became even more certain. Perhaps when we step into the maze again, after all these years, the wheels of fate will finally start turning.
でも、たとえ変えられだから、あなた、なんでもないわ。
本当に入れた。大変だ。
あれ？
Wait, that's Mem.
わあ、ほんファイちゃん、すっごく大きくなった。でも、キュレちゃんはひょっとして。私はレラ。
Lots of memes. I mean, I don't see more. But this one's purple.
記憶違いじゃないかい？レラミュンの毛はずっとラベンダー色だったろう。トラミュン、レラミュン。
There's also a cat behind me.
パラミュン。本当に久しぶりだ。
And the cat was pulling my chair. And I was so confused.
僕たちは焚き火を囲んで歌い踊り。
ひどいぞ、ファイちゃん。絶対忘れないって言ってたのに、ずーっと来なかったし。まあまあ、そんなにすねないで。今日は神託カードを探すために来たの。神託カード？村長さん、神託カードを使って。僕にはわかったぞ。みんなついてきて。
Is Mem gonna be the... Is our Mem gonna be the chief? No, that's not our Mem. That's another Mem. I told you to be Pink Mem. Yeah, exactly.
ピンク。 僕が覚えて。
村長、元気そうでよかった。
安心して。前にも言っただろう。私たちの運命持っていって。こんな形。
As I've written?
私の本と知れ。
それにしても何年も
ああ、そう最近。
The veil of Evernight whispers to us once more, tells a new fairy who will soon enter
もうすぐ
the maze. Well, that will be our man?
新しい妖精がやってくるということは、その度に帳の
そうだとしたら、
やめた方が良さそうだ。
だから本当は力をつけるためにもしばらく村を離れるつもり。それぞれ力と。
村に残っても多分ね。
Marge is the pink mem, I feel it.
一つ提案だけど。
でも
Here's the case. Actually, you might be right on that one. That would make sense. Especially because she jumped into this world, right? And now we're kinda into this world as well. In the Era Nova.
さあ、あなたの思いを。さて、ほら。
Traveler.
あら、驚愕ね。これはいたずらっ子のカードよ。ここ？それとも騙されてやんの？
ずる賢しそうに聞こえる声だ。
Gatekeeper.
これは門職人。彼女。私たちは千の。
So Cypher was a traveler, not a trickster. That's gonna be ugly, obviously.
黄金の眉のロマンの糸をつなぎ。
宝飾と剣舞によって巻く。
華やかだね。僕なんかとは。
That's gonna be, yeah, midday.
お前たちが俺を王を殺した。
これはエリシオンは。
次女のカード。このカードは。
That is Castries.
厳かだけど。
That'll be
私
Yasin.
は力の私と。
できるだけ多く。でも。
Anaxa, like, obviously. It's just that the Traveler doesn't really fit Cypher, I would say.
今の声。まるで。
救世主。運命の酸素。それから。カード。
The only card without the dark side.
今回は。
小さなイルシオンに好奇かつ伝説的な者たちが彼らの言葉とそこには金色に輝く生徒やその昔少年は幼なじみのカードからでしかそれらの存在に触れることがない。それらは今
救世主。
どうやらお前さんは
願いを。
ああ、
父さんと母さんの願いは簡単だ。ピュティアス先生の願いは僕が彼らの願いを。
もしかしたら本当の救世主にと何せケファレが。
そうだね。凡人が。
So at this point, he didn't know his Princess of Air.
私たち今すごく迷って。それ
I wonder when he learned, because for the Cypher, for example, it was when she was still a kid, right?
願いですか？あの醜い
こちらの貴族の。本当か？
我が師。
ファイちゃんは西風の。それとね、ナイアちゃん。最後にもう一ついい？
うん。
それなら大丈夫だね。
僕しか。
うん。また明日。やっほー、救世願い？
Just let me wine and dine and soak up in the sun for another millennium or two. I mean, what's the point of dying rich if you never lived rich?
私の願いはサフェルス。何痛いところつくので、ほら私の願いも天空に昇る前には。
So they have memories of the previous life.
裁縫女と身分を交換してさ。
なんか 抱擁と癒しととにかく
Hello, Anaxa.
仕方ないですね。私がやるべき工程はこれにて終了。私、この人ってもしかいや、僕もたまに英雄になることを妄想したりするけど、なんか複雑な気。
Hello, Day.
どうした？え、僕？そなあ相棒。僕は一体何を
The point people are gonna become close friends.
何をブツブツクレムノス一族についてそうだな。ファイナル。お前の俺の今の願いを教えて。万の死とかけでも。
Wait. That's all.
どう？あなたの心。
これからあんなにたくさんの人と。でも
何か気になること。
さっきミュンドラはもうすぐ大きな災いが。
Even the darkest storm must eventually pass.
キュレね、救世主のそれが示す声や面影、手に取ると言われている気がするんだ。
この贈り物を受け取って。これがあなたと共。
ありが。
That's only like Act 1, and there's probably like at least 3 acts, right?
焦げた匂いと濃い気。
何が起こっているんだ。
間違いない。そして今回は
つまり、
ああ、二人とも迷路迷宮に
でも父さんや母さん。
Just save them.
そうだね、急いで向かおう。
いや、あれはタイタンじゃない。あれは名状しがたいほど暗
The
黒
Black Tide.
タイタンさえも。
そうだ、私たちは
ファイナー、
Protect those who must be protected.
私たち。
I wonder why was it like marked? It's like the important choice for those who just wanted to skip in a way.
たとえ剣がなくとも。
救世主。そう。最初から観光の小さな私たちがまだ小さかった。その願いは叶わなかったけど、そしてそれもあなたの励ましがあったからさ。私たちも知ってるわ。あなたは
救世主。なんとも哀れで残念なことに。
Are you here just to spoil the story?
彼らに
Like, you let me watch it, so don't spoil it.
決して英雄にはな。どうかこの記憶を最後まで見届け。そうすればなぜ。
Also, Deliverance kinda sounds like a new path.
この時。
どこもかしこもみんなは。
Why did you...
僕に
Why is he talking to him? I don't want to die. But aren't we best friends forever?
リリア。
So the villagers turned into monstrous.
嫌だ。それに。どうして。
暗黒の潮が押し寄せたあの日、迷っていた少年。遥かな未来、オンパロスの大地には英雄たちの足跡。暁の最初の光が地平線の向こうから差し込む時、
He got traumatized completely.
それから少年は細い両足だけを頼りに。彼は風に運ばれる枯葉のように。とはいえ目的がないわけではなかった。そう、旅立ちの日に
守るべき人たちを
彼は一度もためらうことなく。
そうでもしないと平凡な人が非凡な
彼は日和の声が大地に響き渡るようになるまで歩みを止めることなく旅を続けた。
しかし火を追い求める。
Lost our constant and flame chased journey, where life too seems as small as a speck of
世
dust.
界を死と仰ぐ人にこそ。
ここ の奥底で声がささや
構わないさ。
彼は決意を固め、金織の呼びかけに応じ、生徒へ赴いた。この時、世の人々はもちろん、そしてそれは彼が共に旅をする中、
ここはファイノンもいる。それと
今没入。
運命の三層殿にいる者を。
何言ってるんだ。あの人はクレムノスの王位継承者だぞ。
慌てないで。
I mean, he's not
聖女
insane,
様が
come
場
on.
を収めてくれるわ。
今ご覧になっているのは公暦4000。ご存知の通り、メデイモス殿は気性が荒い方ではありますが、決して暴力をする。そこでアグライア殿が斡旋し、ファイノン殿が代表として。ですのでファイノン殿の
栄光ある決闘。
殺し合いはよくありません。アグライ、それに本物の戦士はいつ武器、世界の運命よりも
世界の重みを理解して初めてそれを背負う。クレムノス人、君の得意な暴力は。
構わん、新兵よ。さもなくば。
この二人
聖女様、どうも清掃に首をつっ。
どのような英雄であろうと。
そうかな。自分が。僕は一介の兵士に過ぎない。
I think he took a little bit too close to his heart that he's just a common soldier, that he's just normal.
決闘の意味は勝敗では。
それはつまり
I don't think he actually understood the prophecy about him, like the one to carry on the wishes of all.
そうだ。心の声。
ええ、それ。
そういうことだ、戦友。それよりほら、ここが歳月のタイタンの元気にやってるといいけど。
どういうこと？キュレネがここで勉強を？そんなわけない。よりによって一番説明して。
Yeah, Linkus is not really a good... I don't understand what he was reading. Like, basically, he got a glimpse into the future and saw other Chrysosto's heirs, and there the calamity came, and he had to kill all the people he grew up with because they turned into monsters who changed him. He also knew that his fate is to be a deliverer, but he doesn't accept his fate as a Chrysosto's heir fully. He just thinks he's like too normal for that.
特別に教えておいてやろう。お前の盗っ人じみた発言は決闘に対する冒涜だが、ここクレムノスのシグネットリング。
リング？ただの装飾品じゃな。
図に乗るな。覚えておくといい。クレムノスの1000年続く栄光。
彼にとっては世界より一。
それは後々モーディスが背負う宿命でも。
I have to do some weird thing to deliver a card.
やっぱりどれだけ考えてもあの日僕の人生に現れた救世主。
Just thinking about how my village was swallowed by the black tide makes my hands shake.
両手が震える。だけどそのくらいの重さじゃ足りないって理性が僕に言うんだ。頭では分かっているさ。
No regrets.
僕に残された。
もしかしたらそれが正解かもし。あ、ファイノン久しぶりね。トリノンにファイノン。はーい。あなたがいて。
Did I just stumble into the wrong Amphoreus?
そんなに驚いた顔をして。
キュレネ？びっくりした。君も神殿に。
本当は司祭たちと一緒にもしかしたらあなたかも。
まだままごとをして。
But she was dead at this point.
ずいぶんせっかちな男の子ね。あなたたち気が合うんじゃない？そんなに思い詰めた顔をしないで。ほら、この ードがあなたの選択なら私だってエリシオンの野原や恋この悲し
She
みは
is so
嘘だ。でも
fishy.
ねファイノ、それだけじゃダメなのよ。憎しみは人を成長させ、今のあなたに必要なのは未来の重さも
You have to throw the weight of your future onto them as well.
難しく聞こえ、私たちの相棒に救世主を持ったままお願いできる？
Wouldn't that be cheating?
大丈夫よ。
とにかくこの決闘に生徒の僕が持てる全てをかけよう。
Remember the past and become the hero of tomorrow. That's your destiny.
それは変えられない過去を背負って未来へ進む。
公平、正義、潔白のタレンタムよ。山荘の聖女の名のもとに。
お前が載せたのは？
ああ、薄い紙のカード。
面白い。いいだろう。
約束だからな。
天秤が迷ってる。タレンタムは判決について考えています。
世界そのものを肩に乗せてるみたいに。でも僕は
来たか。
聞け、人の子よ。優劣、世界の運命よりも重いものを。エリュシオンから来た。しかし、信念の
The true weight of conviction originates not from itself, but rather in that which tips the scales hold itself.
多分、世界の運命よりも重いのは願いだって言いたいんだと思うの。
Oh, and he carries the wishes of everyone.
双方の重さを乗せたということか。だが忘れてもらっては困るな。クレムの筋に。
それでもいい。僕は一介の兵士だ。いわゆる英雄っていうのはそういう素
晴らしい回答です。火を追う旅は今日最後となる二人の英雄を。
やはり狙いは最初から俺とあいつだったのだな。
獅子を捕獲するだけなら私には。
オクヘイマとクレムノスの孤軍で
They're like all
クレ
here.
ムの筋が手加減すると。
ですが、クレムノスの孤軍は軍旗の厳格さでも全ては君の命令だ。
どうやらオクヘイマは噂ほど陳腐な血というわけでもない。
運命が現実に変わった今、宴を催し、このついてきてください。
It was sad seeing Aglia. I still remember how she died. And that was pretty heartbreaking.
長夜に灯る歴史はこの瞬間を記録するでしょう。
すでにお気づきかと思いますが、
It is pretty different. Yes, Serene is alive. That's the biggest part. Where did you disappear to, though?
あなたの体験の邪魔にならないようどうか焦らず。あなたが見ていたのは彼の最初のタレンタムが見守る中。
She reminds me of a
この瞬間
shrimp.
はまさに神。さあ、英雄たちの船は
世の英雄は今ではもう暗黒の塩。結局
クレムノスの孤軍が西を守っているから。
Feels like imitation crap to me. You mean Surimi? Surimi is pretty nice. I really like Surimi.
アナイクス先生が生前
But it has maybe like 3% of crap needed in it.
アグライアのおかげで
I once lived in my previous apartment. There was next to me, they opened this really cool,
半身が紡いだ網は
I would say fusion Japanese restaurant. And I really vibed with the owner. And in the menu, they had like those
防衛戦に
kimbap rolls with sweet crab, like with a grilled sweet crab. That was so good.
彼はすでにその日だ。
あとだ。ファイの私たち。じゃあオンパロスの願いはみんないつも正しい時にそれなのに私たちを導かして。
僕にもでも僕たちは
We haven't had any other choice except to move forward.
僕たちを待つのがどれだけ長い夜であっても、だから行こう。運命の山荘で君が歳月の剣能を引き継ぎ、そして最後の偉大な旅になるかの。
眠りを妨げてしまったことを。
構わない。どうや
Oh, at least she's not doing the freaking Titan murmurs.
暗黒の潮がオークヘイマに迫り、オンパロスにはもう再創生の時が来た。
約束通り歳月の日、時間の長河に乗るがいい。
Same gate that March went through.
その命をもって次は僕たちが命を捧げる番だ。
だって村を出たその時から。
あ、さあ、神託が示す。
そして新たな世界を。
公暦4931年。そしてさあ、タイタンはすでに運命の入り口を。門の向こうには英雄たちが追い求め案外それを目の当たりにすれば、あなたはファイノンという名のいわゆる救世主とは運命に抗える。
I mean, Amphorius had quite few delusions, right? Like, one of them was, for example, that they actually believed in Cypher's lie and that the sun was always on, right?
さあ、どうぞ。
創世の家臣、これは一体。
人生とは所詮歩く。それは愚者が創世の家臣、世界の起点にして終着点。彼の心に宿る
As an unattainable existence that has dwelt within his heart, beyond his reach, you have accompanied him through the march of years uncounted. You naturally have the right to view the river of time in its fullness, and to witness what he welcomed upon his arrival here. Every absurd and tragic ending.
再創生の道を。
再創生が終われば。
言葉はもう不要。
再創生も晴れます。
再創生を見届けられる。
This is so trippy.
構わないさ。火を追う旅の残酷さの中。
Lost his hope.
ロマンチック。そうでしょ。
Haven't I seen this scene before?
ええ、これらは彼の記憶の中で
All shall bid farewell to one, and that person alone will witness the miracle.
繰り返されてきた回数は
Excuse me, how many times? 30... Wait. 33,550,335 times. That's how many times he relived this entire story. Bro is like Okaba, and this one freaking day he repeated. At least he's repeating entire life and stuff changes, right?
いいえ、終わりなき輪廻を承目で見たものこそが真実、あるいは直接最後の真相へと向かうのも一つの道です。
See the true face of the character you play. Yes, I want to see. I want to see. Let me go. Let me go. Wait, let's watch the memory fragments.
誰もいないな。どうやら処刑人。
Executioner?
キャストリスさん。
私はすでに彼らは叫んでいるのです。
わかった。
聞こえます。言ってください。救世主様。
We'll keep that executioner in our shadows. What?
それにこの子
どうやら。
まあね。
いや、一緒に。
あれ、裁縫女によ。
ああ。
素直でよろしい。処刑人の足止めは私。
Oh, good evening, Brainstack. Wait, am I the executioner, or is she, or are they all referring to Revager, like the black guy?
正気かモーディス。いや、共に
滑稽だな。無論行け。あの処刑人をこの。
I don't think we are the executioner, to be fair. I think Lucas is kind of trying to bamboozle us.
どうしたんだい?
He has completely different outfit here.
君は冷や。
Hi, Minimaj. How are you?
わかった。それじゃあいいから。
I'm very confused by the current story right now, but thank you for asking. Also, my emotions changed quite frantically today, so I might feel different in a moment.
まだやらんこい。処刑に。
I don't believe we are the executioner. I think it's referring to Flame Reaver.
人々は一人と別れを告げ、
タイタンが示した未来も。
再創生。この思考の
それは
運命に例外はないの。私は最後のバニオをどうか許してください。さあ、これ以上。
You'll be confused even more later. It's becoming such a mess later. You skipped the story. You skipped the story. You cannot comment on it.
トリビー先生。
It probably became even more of a mess because you were skipping the story and you lost everything.
もうそれでもせめて力の処刑人の心臓を
I'm Steven. I'm proud of it.
君の苦痛に満ちた運命に。
Yeah, I don't think we are the executioner. I think he's referring to himself. I have this theory that the Flame Reaver is him because he knew how to kill Midday, and that he lived through all of those iterations for such a long time that he actually had the Okabe thingy, that he just wanted to destroy it all at some point, while him that is stuck in the story is still the one that is trying and having the hope. So he's fighting himself from the future.
忘れたのですか？私ですが、さあ、顔を。哀れな処刑人に血の。
Okay, Lucas, show me whatever you want to show me.
覚悟は世界の流れは。
Show me the final memory.
この永遠の劇場のあのアイオンのオンパラスの停滞した運命を。
I'm scared.
戸惑っておいでですか？今上演されている光景こそ劇オンパラス、彼がその手で作り上げ、この世界が間もなく迎える。さあ、ご覧ください。剣士の隣に立つ者こそ、彼が時には相棒、時にそのものこそ。
He's the swordsman ideal in his youth, the deliverer that guided him resolutely onward through fantasy. And now, in the name of the Nameless, she has become an essential and inseparable part of the epic of
今回はその七死人の導きのもと、
So we had to come here and like live his life with him at least once.
私の代わりに解説を務めるのは3355万336回目の火を追う旅の結末をもた彼こそ
The master of the countless memories we saw, the other important actor now stepping into the vortex, the Flame Reaver. There he is. However, they did mention to rip his heart out of the void, and he has like this void where his heart should be. Bye, Lingus. This is so freaking tall. He has the same rod, like he has Serene's rod. Did you notice? Like when she was in one of the cutscenes, she was standing in with that weapon. So he has her weapon. Okay, can I make it faster though? Or do I need to look at it in slow motion? You. What element is Finan? Is he imaginary? Like all the guys are imaginary, right? It would make sense for him to be one. Now I realized what I said. All the guys are imaginary, they are not real. Physical, oh. That's a nice change. Even if all creation burns to ash. I mean, I think you need like 200 pulls to get your archer. The mask is off. I only saved for like 90 pulls. I mean, I have nothing. I want Serene, right? I mean, can I do something, or will he just be talking? I want Serene, but she's probably not gonna be there for like next patch or two, right? So I think I have time. So I don't think... I haven't played like a normal person and not on auto battle for such a long time. That feels wrong. I should have preview with me here. That would make my life easier, I think. But I like running around with Cypher. I did not think about this. So it turns out, if the idea that Mem is actually March 7 is real and turns out to be true, that would mean that March was with us all along. I skipped everything, but to be honest, the story actually seems interesting. What to do now? What to do now? You cannot redo the story in Star Rail, new account or angle. Going through everything again. Is it gonna be like another stage or something? Keep skipping. Huh? I have your stream to check the story. Right, problem solved. After you also been bathed in that Aeon's gaze, which can awaken the long-dormant instincts inside a man. The term land known as Amphorius is nothing more than the scepter's endless, lonely exploration. A bottomless well of fury aimed at the god who casted it aside. Final Iranova before the eternal recurrence begins. She has the weapon that the Flame Reaver had. We were in that situation already. You still remember when I was little I had a dream, a dark, cold room with nothing but Autonic's curtain glowing like crystal. The curtain seemed to contain all of Amphorias where strange and fantastic dramas played out within. There were countless versions of us, from countless different worlds. So this is the reason the sky was sealed. Amphorios is merely a larger Addis Elysia. We are just characters in this tiny world, following the prophecy, stepping onto the same journey over and over. Thus is the synthesis of the prime mover of life form. Is there gonna be hope? We've done all of this. We sacrificed so much, and at the end, we're gonna be sacrificial lamps too. Yes. Oh my dear Lord, Legoose, you're horrible.
最後までこの世界の本質に触れ、英雄の旅という名のプロセスが今日まで繰り返されてきた理由、それは新たな世界、すべては暗黒の
They were a deep learning program made for the black tide. Oh dear Lord.
でも今回そのお前の企みも失敗に終わる。僕はもうケファレの火種を受け継いだ。
I think that was something they needed.
私の説明が分かりにくかったのでしょうか。黄金栄もタイタンも実験の副産物に過ぎない。英雄も神々も世界も全てそれに壊滅されるために生まれてきました。これがオンパロスの
This is the endpoint of Amphoria's calculations, a perfect equation of destruction.
犠牲になった全ての人たちはあなたにとってただのトルン。
そう自らを卑下することはありません。
He made Serene pissed. Elysia would never. She was her share of humanity for a reason.
巻がなき
その太陽が破滅から生まれたものだとしてもか。
妙な質問をなさいますね。ご存じないでしょうが、数千万回もの演算を繰り返すうちにオンパロスはそれこそが
The golden blood flowing in your veins, it comes from the blemished one, whose name is destruction. So I think he's right now that I think about it, isn't he? Because when we have the picture of Eon of Destruction, he always had the yellow blood on it, right? Wait, let me find it. I think I'm right. Problem is that I cannot type.
この世代の黄金栄たちはこれまでで最も優れたモデルでした。
So
最後の因子であるお二人にとって再創生は決して嘘ではな
I
い
know
ので
that
す。
there's like things going on in the background, but this is Nanook, right? He actually has golden blood,
暗黒の死を
so
受
it
け
does make sense.
アイオンの一別を受けなさい。そうすればあなたたちは冷たく無機質な数字の羅列から絶滅
In the
体
name of the Lord Ravager, Iron Tom, unleash its fury and destroy the source of all this tragedy.
もし本当にあなたの言うようにオンパロスがただの実験に過ぎず、私たちは定められた軌跡に沿って星々に見つめられる結末へ向かう。オンパロスに一別をくれるアイオーンが一柱だけとは限らないでしょ。あら、答えるのが難しかったかしら。それとも図星だった？この世界はとっくに他のアイオーンの視線を浴びてるのよね。
I mean, if I was an Eon and my Eon friend pulled something like that, I would obviously be interested, right?
暗黒の潮に飲み込まれるの。それをどうしてわざわざこんなにも
Also, Herta has her eyes on it now, right?
告げたのはオンパロスが向かう運命は壊滅だけじゃない。
まさかとは思いますが、お二人は半身という卑怯な
あら、ちょっとした勇気と覚悟があればなんとかなるんじゃないかしら。でもね、教えてあげない？
But I think that was just a
実験
copy.
が終わってないこと、すべてがまだ続いてるってことを信じ
We're
てくださ
going
い。
to view a long dream from our followers, making it believe the experiment hasn't ended, that everything is still ongoing.
でもオロニクスの力があるとはいえ。
そうね。だから子供の時の夢に現れたオロニクスの背後にいた神様。
And the god behind Oronix that appeared in the dream.
今ならはっきりわかる。歳月こそあ
If it fades from existence and all its record is long among the stars, that Yon will surely direct our gaze here. Wait, and it will be a glance that spans time and space, granting each incarnation of me the power to reset time, imbuing my soul into this ceremonial blade, and creating an endless flame-chased journey. Let me step into the cycles and continue Anfomer's grand design to deceive the gods, to deceive the world itself. Make time vanish from this world. That would mean you. That's why she's behind the veil. We're gonna be forever separated, but at the same time, the forever will not exist because there will be no time. But what in the timelines where she was dead? So when we came to Amphorius, she was not there anymore. She was gone. So did they reach, or did she somehow reach this point earlier? I wonder how she will get out of the world. So he has to kill her? I wonder if there's even a possibility for Amphorius to have a positive final chapter. I don't think that could be the case. He's glitching. I mean, Painon was obviously Caslana, like he looked like every single Caslana in every single universe. I would be really surprised if he wasn't. that actually gives Steins Gate vibes because of this like time divergence and everything else. I mean, that wasn't just one story, that was so many stories. And she's gone. And he ascended. I mean, it's still millions. It was 35,550 something thousand and some hundreds. I need to play all of them. And no skip button.
分かっているとは思うけど、ここは記憶の一角に過ぎない。
Wait, is he talking with himself now?
お別れを言いにもし望むなら、いや、一度歩き始めたら、あと僕たちに怖くなったんじゃないか。君は僕が与えた原動力を。
Oh, you said about the motivation I gave you as the manipulating whispers of destruction.
心に従って貫いてきたことや選択を、僕たちが命を模して作られただけの数字の羅列なら、本物の生きている人間。
No, they have different hairstyles, like kinda the same but also different. So it's like his inner child.
いや、どうしてこの世界には全てがうまく僕も僕の根源に壊滅に身を投じよう。
Is he the path of destruction? Is he physical destruction DPS?
覚えているかな。小さい頃好きなだけカードを引き直せる子供たちは、でも運命を歩む大人に、そうか。
The only thing I must say, like, what they definitely did improve is that before we had a lot of parts where we had to like go out of the cutscenes and to do something, and that was pretty annoying. And so far we didn't have anything like this. And I hope that we will not have anything like this. I like how it's forgotten the Trailblazer is too connected to the destruction. I think it will be still brought up. I like the visuals for all the stories in that one. Like, I honestly do like the story of Amphorios. It's just that release it as a movie. Don't call it a quest. Who is this fine lady? Saritra. I didn't see her face yet, but look at her design. She is perfect. What is she? Why are there bubbles inside her? I think I know what I will be playing on. Forget Sunday. I don't need to play Aglia. I collected her because I liked her. I don't need to play her. I want her. I want Hissilence. Holy hell. He is perfect. Oh my dear lord, I remember when I said something about how nice. How I like about the game that it doesn't let like this time that it doesn't require me to do stuff. Yeah, I think I might have said it too early. I mean, this has a strong Acheron vibes, but it is pretty cool as a skill. That is true. Can't escape the walking. Yeah, the walking is essential part of everything. I like the black holes. It is really, really cool. And I think with the Trailblazer, we are still considered to be side characters. Kind of like in Genshin, right? In Genshin, we are observers. But at the same time, as a main character in Genshin, we are more detached from the world itself, right? We don't really care about what happens with our friends. At least this is the vibe that the main character, the traveler, gives. And here we actually care. Here we are actually involved. We feel. We even decided to stay. Acheron kills singular, that's true. Great Imperator Siridra. Is that gonna be a new waifu? Also, that is freaking spooky. Like, imagine being underneath it. Like, that is nah. That one time I skipped the story actually becomes interesting. See, you get tempted. You get tempted by the devil to use the skip button the moment it became available, and here you are. So we will not meet Siridra.
そちらの二人に感謝すると。
私たちも黄金栄が傷つけ
その後モネータの禁止が
白髪の禁止もしあなたの形たちが神託から読み取った
Speak of Trivi's prophecy. You shall shatter into it. She's already like she heard the first words and she's like, what? How does he know it? I love her outfit. She's so perfect.
アグライア、トリムでも彼に手を差し伸べて全て話そう。だって歴史がどのように変わろうともいや。
The fate we all share will always remain the same. And so the layers of rock began to reverse, and history wrote itself now.
僕はカイザーの同盟には壊滅が必要であり、そのためにただ条件として次の戦いで大地を討伐する運命を超える力があることを本来の歴史だと。あの戦争は悲惨な結末だった。今回オンパロスは結果双方ともに犠牲とならずに済んだ。
But that was still not enough.
初めて命の光を灯したことにかすかに僕は自分を証明し、僕に残された選択肢はだから僕は
He lived so many lives. How can he still be cheerful?
それが事実だとして。 人々は約束を守り、 君に全ての火種を託した。この時代ではトリスビアス以降オンパロスに半身は誕生していない。教えてくれないか。彼らが人の君はなぜ一滴の涙すら流さない。どうしてそんなにも冷徹でいられるんだ。
Finan just doesn't understand because he didn't live through all those iterations, right? He just doesn't know.
僕の悲しみは一度だって消えたことがなかった。怒りを持ってこの世界の全てを心に刻むと誓おう。君の本質に今さら気づいたところで、ただ君の言う通りだ。怒りこそ。
I just wish to know at what moments they had this possibility to talk. So this is when the river was created. When Finan actually met himself. That day, he felt the sword to be left in the past and he went into the future. You know what? Now that I think about it, they might have go for this approach of making the story so long and so dragging. Because remember how Sumeru started? Sumeru started freaking horribly. We were stuck in the loop, everything was repeating. I thought that my game crashed. And I think this is kind of like they wanted to do the same. For us to be tired of this story, because this is the one of the many times that we want to. I mean, that might sound like I'm defending the way they decided to. That might sound like I'm defending the way they decided to do the story, but it's not. I'm just trying to make sense of it. But that would make sense. Nahida keeps you in Sumeru jail. Yeah, that was it. Holy shit, I was so spooked. I was like, ain't no way I'm living the same day like 7th time. Like usually when you have like repetitions in the games, it's like 3 times, right? Like the 3 times the charm, and that's it. Eternal Recurrence 2. Subject Kasana adopted a strange strategy similar to the Eternal Recurrence 1. No substantive impact on the experimental progress was observed. Life cycles of the 12 Chrysos eras terminated normally in a sequence. Subject Kaslana regressed the extrapolation process. External 3. Minor adjustment detected in Subject Kaslana's strategy. Decision waiting for avoid sacrifice of past companions has been increased. After verification, these adjustments did not have a substantive impact on the experimental progress. Life cycles of the 12 Chrysos eras terminated normally in a sequence. Subject Kaslana regressed the extrapolation process. Eternal Recurrence 15. Subject Kaslana attempted to decompile the Black Tide for the first time, aiming to elevate access privileges and execute unauthorized access authorization operations against specific subjects represented by 12 Chrysos eras. Life cycles of the 12 Chrysos eras terminated normally in sequence. Subject Kaslana regressed the extrapolation process. Recurrence 42. Subject Kaslana's 11th attempt to breach the Scepter's core layer has failed. The decision waiting for avoid sacrifices of past companions showed a minor decline. Life cycles of 12 Chrysos eras terminated in a sequence. Subject Kasana regressed the extrapolation process. Eternal Recurrence 133. Analysis of observations from Eternal Recurrence 83 and 133 indicates that Subject Kaslana's strategy is gradually converging with that of Eternal Recurrence 42. Over synchronicity risk detected. Potential cognitive function degradation suspected. Admin notes, this will undoubtedly reinforce the Iron Tom's destruction vector, within expectations. No intervention required. Continue observation. I mean, that might be quite a lot of stories, given how many iterations we had.
なんとも奇妙な話ですね。リンネはあなたが、ええ、ただその答えをアイオン、その2つの概念のことは僕も別に期待していませんよ。やりどころのない気持ちを歴史の債務がどんなに変わ
But even an
もし
Aztec
他のアナクサゴラス
couldn't
が
help
神を
him.
敬うことしかできなかったのなら、何としてでも輪廻をただ残念ながら今それができ、つまり当然です。火種は旧姓のために生まれたものですから。それにその口ぶりからその言葉では雑談はこの全滅を覚悟していましたが、
Some sort of weird switch in his
まさか救い
brain,
の手を差し
and
伸べ
he's
る
just
者が現れる
acting so cheerful for no reason at all. Or is it actually like triggering his memories at some point? The same way we had with Paris?
過去の輪廻でなら待ってください。どうやら誰か。
へえ、あんた世界をめちゃくちゃにした偽りのか。
七賢人の名において今すぐ啓蒙の玉座から離れるよう命じます。今の言葉をそのままアグライアに伝えてください。
ああ、技術の半身とさえ呼んでく
You
れ
won't
な
even
かった。
call me the demigod of trickery? That is just heartbreaking. She's so offended.
そのままあんたに返させてもらうよ。そもそもこの件はあんたとは関係ないの。受刑の坊や。
火を盗む族、虚勢だけで受刑の
楽勝だったね。さあ、逃げるよ。
Bye, I guess. We have to fix it. I mean, we know how to use it already, right?
同じだ。狡猾で。ほう、もちろん。これだけの道のりを歩んで。
ちょっと、どこ行くの？
で、来たか、ザグレウス。
You know who I am?
そろそろ尽きる。
You're the greatest Dastron Forest has ever known, kind of. So, is he becoming, unironically, the...
これは僕の
like
134回
Acheron
目の
is
輪廻だ。
something something of emanator of
そして
nihility. Is he becoming emanator of destruction with all this
火種の
training?
数は1590。ああ、だがいつか。ああ、進化はいずれ僕でもその時が訪れるまで、その日はヘリオスを鍛え続ける。これが最後の稽古。
この世界に1億通りの未来があるとしたら、そのうち9999万9999通りはどう見たって破滅への道けど、この嫌われ者のオイラは神。
バトルズ。
小僧、やれるもんならオイラ
You'll have to first step over my dead body. Ah, I would. I actually had an issue with the bottle next to me. Oh, so we actually get to see Finance in the fight. Can we see his stats? What do we have for him? Level 80. 3 buffs. We cannot see his constellations, can we? Or I'm like not familiar with how to see it for the story characters. Do we need to chase him now?
僕の記憶ではだからこの別れがこの理性の火種は偽物のだこうなることは知ってそして悔しさこれまで出会ってきた無数ねえ同じ点か次は技術の火種を私のそれは君の出方次第だ
That depends on your attitude. At least so far in the cycles where you've asked this question, the endings haven't been so cruel.
そりゃよかった礼を言わないとだねだって誰も私には追いつけない
信じようが信じまいがそれは間違った選択だと
So the Flame Reaver, when he killed her, he took her heart out for the flame. No, she left it with the purple guy, right? Because this time they actually did bamboozle everything and she wasn't the Titan because the Titan was still alive.
その足は長く歩きすぎたのかもしれません私の生徒であったヨシミで言わせてその心の奥底にある救世主への憧れは
Your Messiah complex has turned you into something no different from the icy gods you spoke of. The children of humanity you swore to save, they're no more than ants to you now, aren't they? That kinda looks like that.
瞬きもせずにあっという間に私の故郷を焼き払った今やっとその答えが分かったよ
これ以上僕から最後まで抗うかたとえ徒労であっても君たちに
神々が書いた壊滅の運命に
When I walk into the destruction written by gods with my own two legs, you will witness.
こうして氷格と学者はまたも同じいや同じ運命をたどったのは終わりのない暗闇の中火を追う旅は喪失の道
He took it too much to heart again and focused too much on like the literal meaning. Subject Kaslana Eternal Recurrence 134. Subject Kaslana's 103rd attempt to breach the scepter's core layer has failed. Decision wait for avoid sacrifices past companions approaching 0.000018. Yeah, the divergence. It went down. Life cycles of 12 Chrysos heirs terminated in sequence. Subject Kaslana regressed the extrapolation process. We have more. Attempt to breach the scepter's core has failed. Mind function degradation detected. So he's already degrading. No more prompts about the risk of mind function damage. Has failed. Has failed. Any differences? No, they're all the same. He unironically relived it so many times, with no changes. Just like Okabe with that one day. He's so tired.
そしてヘリオスが君の第10胸椎に刺さる
面白い聞かせろ
Did they ever retreat? Never. Of course they didn't.
ならば紛争のだが貴様の
僕はこの壊滅に完全に飲み込まれないためにも
もし俺に勝てたのなら来世のメデイモスにこう伝えろ。
心に刻むよ。
たとえ王朝に残っている者が一人だろうと、祭典は従来通り行われる。汝はいずれ
They all before in different like lifetimes that they are part of the simulation.
やすやすと火種を手に入れることはでき。ならば来い。俺と
But it's still so freaking sad.
ゴルゴーの子、紛争の半身。貴様に敬意を表す。
Wait, is that my mental degradation? That would make sense. That's not midday. Or it is. But is this how we see him? Is this him that succumbed to the black tide? Or is this some sort of his final form? He took my soul! Okay, that's the first time we can use... That's the first time we can actually use our... He unironically looks exactly like Nanook. Like, I wish we could look at him, but he just looks like Nanook. He's the personification of Nanook. That's how Trailblazer should be. I mean, we already got all our destruction powers, right? So it's a tiny bit different for us. What does Z mean? What will happen if I press Z? Okay, never mind. I got scammed. I mean, yeah, a very, very cool baseball bat. Also, keep in mind that we're not even close to our final form as travelers, so we might still see some cool stuff from our side. But yeah, I think you're right, that this is like the final form, because Finon is in his final form. Not as cool as making goddamn black holes and throwing meteors down. I mean, do you remember Welt's ultimate? He was also creating a black hole. He literally has a black hole in his cane. Mother tracker, he's cool. If I was a meta slave, I would pull for him. But as we know, I'm more in for the waifus. Like, I'm all in for the waifus, so guys have less priority. Well, the coolest characters in game bar none. I mean, he is pretty cool. Unironically, I really like him. I don't like playing him, obviously, because he's not too good when it comes to be a playable character, but like all his background story and how he is, I really like him. Oh, hi Jessica. We were talking about you before because there are mentions of carrying something on your shoulders, and I instantly thought about your motto. I will forever think about your motto every time I hear the sentence that someone is carrying the weight of the world on their shoulders. I will just think about you, Jessica. It is how it was. I cannot stop it. Hello, how are you? If you don't want to... Just eating after driving. If you don't want to spoil yourself the story, run away. But so far the story is nice. They removed a lot of moments when you are not doing the cutscene, but you're actually need to run around, so it's more enjoyable this way because you can like focus on the story and not get thrown out of the immersion. So in that case it's better. I'm not pulling on Finon. I was just saying before you joined that I am not a meta slave. I'm waifu slave. No, I'm kidding. I like his story, but his story is not as touching for me, like for example Castries. I definitely would like to have Serene more, and we just met a new character in one of the cutscenes, and I'm absolutely in love. I don't know who she is, but I want her.
君は
お断りします。死の反あなた
Yeah, so now I was about to pull for Sunday because I have Aglia, right? But then I'm like,
のふりはでき
she's not really, I don't really need to play her, I just wanted her, right? That was my first thought after I've met the new character that was introduced
無
here.
駄なし。やはりあなたはどうか引き返してください。そして
Gonna wait for the adventuring rerun? Yeah, he's a very strong character, that's a good way to go.
そうなんて夢
なん
I think I use him exclusively in the majority of the teams, right? Obviously not with Castries, but
バン
or
バさんに
he's a Gamba addict
は
also.
出たからこそ
I liked his story.
私は苦慮の果てで試練を乗り越え
Don't eat and drive.
暗淡たるて死の
I have a lot of characters. I don't know if we can see all of them or like all the ones that I have. Why do you say new? I had them before. Like I literally have her light cone and stuff. Why did you say new? Oh, because they had like some changes. But yeah, I have Jinglu, I have Kafka, I have Silverwolf, I have Aglia now, I have Robin, Argenti, which was a mistake but happened, Clara, Firefly, Fugua, Linksha, Topaz. Then we have Herta, Ruame, Acheron. I think I even have like some Eidolons on Acheron. Yeah, she's C2 and her weapon is S2. I have Anaxa, I have Black Swan, Facial, Poho, Castries, Cypher, and her weapon somehow. Tribi, Sparkle, Fushon, Seal. My Seal also has like constellations. She's also like C2. And but that's not her weapon. Her weapon is on someone else. I wonder who her weapon is on. Her weapon is on March Hunt. Yeah, that happened. Dr. Ratio, but he was free. Aventrine, Lucha, and that's it from like the limited 5 stars. Cypher is really, really cool. Robin, I just want for her singer. You don't. You don't. Trust me, you don't. After doing my dailies with Robin for like a month, the only thing I could
妨げないでください
think about is like I would sit around and in my head there would be like, welcome to my... I was completely brainwashed. That was just no. No, you don't want this. Trust, unless you play on mute. Oh, come on, my popcorn with MMMs was actually goated. You should try. It was really, really good. I enjoyed it a lot. Actually, I feel like eating MMMs. I should go to the store tomorrow and grab some.
この生と死の境界では巨竜の残骸
But yeah, in general, the story pretty nice. And they showed us some new waifus, which makes me a tiny bit happy. I'm not really that much of a Naz guy, really. I don't like MMMs with nuts inside. I like the ones that are filled with chocolate.
己を磨くチャンスだ明日の
In general, I don't like if they cover like nuts and chocolate or like anything else. I can live with that if it's like Raffaello or Toffifee. Is that called Toffifee? No, it was called something different. Yeah, Toffifee. But overall, I prefer nuts like Bear and MMMs with chocolate. Unless white chocolate is not even a chocolate. He looks badass, yeah, we know. He looks very, very badass, and he can cast freaking black holes as well. So, looking at his design and how he works is really hard not to pull for him, but I need to be loyal to my waifus. They are waiting for me. And I think that girl that was shown, I think Star Rail Twitter channel posted her once. He doesn't deserve to be so cool. I think you're a tiny bit cruel towards him. Think about him. He does all of that to save everyone. He goes through all this pain. He's pulling off Okabe, but on an like. I think Okabe may be lived through the same day like a few hundred times at most. This guy is stuck. My god, Okabe would have entered. Okay, I think otherwise. I think Okabe would actually not enter that many of cycles. The whole thing is so similar to Archer from Fate. I mean, I think that's also the reason why they introduced Fate characters during Amphoria's story. There's still hope inside me, nice. Oh. I think if he was smarter, it would end up faster. Midday is basically Gilgamesh as well, true. And this whole like eternal cycle that's also like very similar to the to Fate. But I think if he was tiny bit smarter, he's basically becoming a destruction alien. Then he would solve all of that quicker. I mean, even freaking Serene hinted him that he's taking stuff too much at the literal value. Yeah, I also like. I remember I was told that there will be the Fate collab, and then I saw Gilgamesh, and I was like, oh wow, cool! They actually put Gilgamesh from Fate as a playable character, like to be imbued in the story, right? And I was like, that's actually pretty cool, and there we are. He's actually not Fate. If it were Professor Alex or Agli in my place, maybe they would come up with something smarter. Yeah, I think they would. Honestly, missed an opportunity now with the collab. True, you're right. They could make even more bank if they did that, right? Okay, stop. 1 second, because it is time for my cats to eat. And because it is time for my cats to eat, I need to take a short break. I think I can see how Archer could be summoned as a counterforce against the whole destruction thingy. True. Also, I hope that we will still see some more action from Midday in this story, because he might be all muscle and all fight, but I think he was way smarter than Finon up till now. So I think that he'll be the one who like brings him back to his reason. And now we're right back, I gotta feed. I pressed be right back and I went downstairs immediately, and then I saw the screen be right back. I don't know why, because it shouldn't have any delay. But Twitch's been acting up lately. You'll bear the blazing sun until we're actually just disintegrating.
私はあなたを信じています。ただわからん人の
It's so faint. Yeah, the humanity is kind of gone from him.
僕はみんなの願いはたとえ進化が激しく燃え盛りみんなの願いが何度も
The only thing I still kind of don't get how he can be in two places at the same time.
無数のあなたの願いは
Yeah, I know. Is he like going to the past and reliving all those iterations yet again?
あなただけの自我は
これはなら旧姓の本
いえ空虚な炎ではそれでも新婚の目ヒアシンシア私に唯一できるあの優しい虹の光があなたの太陽にそしてオンパロスに
God damn it. Oh, so we get to see her in her final form too.
ぬくもりはまだ残っています救世主よどうか私に心を開いてください
What is this? Black tide. I see.
この別日が金色の炎で天
You're just gonna destroy another one of our friends. Over and over, yeah? That was surprisingly underwhelming when it comes to the damage. I mean, in his head, he is saving everyone, right? He's just waiting for someone. He has this stupid idea in his head that he's the deliverer and he needs to like wait and live through that over and over again because someone else will be the one who breaks through. Maybe he is kind of right. We will see, right? Maybe it's gonna be us. Maybe it's gonna be... Maybe it's gonna be March.
2300もう何も追わなくていい悲哀はこの僕がもう一つの太陽が自閉
Here we are on our current loop.
3300君はこれから無数の記憶がかつての数えきれない彼らもみんなその後は君もまた
Marge being the better of distraction. The unexpected plot twist, right?
僕は
Something we were not thinking that could happen. She became the hunt and now she'll become the distraction. Soon she was gonna have more elements than we do, or more paths than we do.
神々と
I will kill gods and comrades alike and steal the core flames. And even if my mind turns to ash along with my body, I will keep my purpose in mind. I will stop Eranova. I will find the next me and make him carry on this futile endeavor of 30 million lifetimes. Ah.
じゃあ君は彼女のやっと相棒
Hi Jason, how are you? I'm being pulled into your memories.
ごめんいや
Okay, but now how do we break? How do we break from the loop? Tired from work, same. Waiting for Friday. He always had a choice, I think. Relax and watch cute Kato. I think he always had a choice. I think the only person who yeah, he's the only person who thinks he doesn't have a choice. He had the currently hottest day of the year today. Work made me dead. I think the hottest day will be tomorrow here. We'll like have a 1 day delay. It was still pretty hot today though. So we might focus on Finan, but it seems that we are the main character of the story here. I am you. Yeah, you are me. I think this is like the last bit of humanity he still has. Remember the past and become the hero of tomorrow. What weighs more than the fate of the world is the resolve to shoulder an immutable past and carry it into the future. If I choose to step through that door and embrace an end fitting of the destruction, let this sun forged from millions and millions of core flames burn me up along with the god of destruction and their minions. You know what would be pretty cool? Because Serena said that if they play it smart, they will be able to make other Eons look unambiguous. And that would be pretty cool to see like Eons fight against each other, right? I mean, I have no choice, right? I will. One second, I need to check something. Okay, checked. No, I didn't. I had to check if I closed the window that is not secured from cats. And I'm paranoid about it, so I had to check it out. But we're good, we're good. We'll fight for the future, Finan. It is time. Okay, but it's been like 2 hours since the last time we've seen March. Can she finally step in? I miss my girl. Anya Jason, your wife is here. I mean, she was here for a bit. and now we're waiting for her to reappear again. I will bear this world until my body turns into dust. Yes, we saw her. And she actually kind of stepped into this world. Oh yeah, I'm booking my flight to China to give my executives a present if I don't see my March dispatch. I would do the same. I mean, we saw her, right? So... He's evolving again. That was a cutscene from Genshin. That was, like, unironically, it wasn't like that exactly same sequence as we had with the unknown god at the beginning of Genshin. Like, she also, like, destroyed something in her head, and there are, like, those weird cubes around her. And, I mean, everyone thinks that unknown god is Kaslana, right? Just different Kaslana than Final.
開拓者救世主の信託は僕にとってもう何の意味もない混沌を背負う者カスライナそれは一個人の名じゃなく君がこれから書き記す
Everything is connected. Can we kill him? Like for good? In all those millions of futile endeavors, Empress has never changed. If the outcome is inevitable, then why not silence your searing rage and embrace your fate with dignity? He looks completely out of the game. If you think about it, if you look at him now, he doesn't look like someone who's like inside of the game. The way he's drawn is a little bit different than usual characters. We managed to squeeze 35 million loops in 3 hours. Let's go. Who is truly the one in chains? Who is the one shackled to mindless vengeance, mistaking courage, the courage to rebel against the god for foolishness? I don't think Leos actually has a way of thinking about that. Yeah, he actually looks like he's from a different gacha. Like, he's actually drawn in a tiny bit a different way. Like, the lines for his like accessories, the lines for his hair, the way his body is drawn is tiny bit different. He still looks sterile, but he looks also so different. And this man's back to gacha life too. The destruction has already fused into a blazing sun, surging within his fragile body. My rationality had been burned away at the dawn of the era, yet even with only the shattered body remaining, I still endured. Life is already a gacha. It kind of is. That's true. Are we gonna end his life with our little baseball bat? That would be so weird. If I was born as the blazing sun of destruction, then let you and your lackeys be the flares erupting from my core, and let this rage burning futilely for 30 million epochs engulf everything, and ground you down where all stars burn to ash. Warning, warning, warning. I mean, you get the different types of looted and anime wives in live gacha. Experimental anomaly detected. Subject Kasana failed to load into buffer zone. Memory dump irregularities detected. Illegal references, undeclared objects, unhandled methods, on-caught exceptions. Anomaly destruction. Energy Nanook. Surging. Did we actually break? Did we actually break the loop? Pulled by someone else? Oh my dear lord. That is also so true. That is also so true. Holy hell. I think this cutscene reminds me more of Honkai 3rd than Honkai Star Rail. Look how freaking similar they are. I mean, the placement of the scars on the body from which pours the golden blood, like the shape of the face. This cutscene reminds me of Asura's Breath. I have no idea what that is. And we got a banger song, let's go. The thing about Star Rail is that oftentimes, like even at the very beginning, when we had first fight against Cecilia, looks like the new DMC anime, an oldie from PSN anime game, I see. So even when we had the first boss fight, the Cecilia one, it already had a banger music. And every time we have this like main story related to Eons somehow, we always get a banger music. That looked very anime-esque. I mean, it's still anime, but that looked like anime. Oh no, no arm. Did he got hit so hard that he lost his clothes? Oh no, never mind, he didn't really have clothes, he had like this weird scale on his body. He got even more pissed. I mean, that is impressive. He's actually going against the god in a sense, right? But then again, he's Caslana, so you couldn't even expect less out of him. Is that solo leveling? But he is the flame, and he is the flame that burns the stars. He heard Aeon. He heard Nanook. Will that shake the will of God? He's already healing. All that for a drop of blood, I know, right? But will that shake the will of a god? Will Finon's resolve actually get him anything out of it? Because from what we just experienced, it kind of seemed that he did break from the loop. But I'm still concerned. Wait, for the first time he's actually speaking about it. Okay, his wish is to fulfill someone else's wish. What will be the final fate of Amphorius? Will their story disappear along with them because the simulation will no longer occur? Click anywhere. Your heart harbors wrath. You yearn to destroy everything. You bore the gaze of Aeon and lived. Admin notes. You have stepped onto destruction's path. It is born at the end of every path that the possibility of new paths being born is ended. It burns away all in the cosmos who rule, that the rules of the cosmos be destroyed. Iron Tomb is your name, the Lord Ravager, to destroy the erudition. Born in the experimental grounds of Aeons, Amphorius, destined with erudition to burn to cinders. I have prepared a present for you, Nacos 496. It is a wrath called Finon. From the beginning of the experiment, there were 12 sets of factors incorporated into calculations. After endless simulations, only this one rose above the rest. After this many iterations, now his fury has grown to be without equal. This is a matter of considerable interest to me. This pure hatred is the final root of the equation. Okay, thank you for this stretch. I actually need it. But there is another variable, the nameless from beyond the sky, also a path strider of destruction. I give thanks for her arrival, allowing Amorphorius to turn once more. But after faith has begun to turn, her existence will only become an unpredictable variable. Perhaps the time to take the stage has come. Grow in peace until it is time to break free from your cocoon. As for those unwelcome audience members, you need not to worry. If you do not mind, I will personally get rid of them for you. Visitor verification override protocol confirm. That looks actually so cool. What is this? Is that like a new game mode that we will experience? Hold to load the data. I will be waiting for you. Welcome back, Honey Praeta, for retrieving experimental data. Update complete. Experimental progress 99%. Log updated. What the actual... Crack World War Premium Mobile Hatred. It attempted to destroy itself. That is redacted. Desire. Death. Track time, so that is Serene. That's why she's redacted. Then we have Cypher. Then we have Castries. And then we have Anaxa. Animal, we have Eternal Reoccurrence. The Hero Within, which turned out to be us. Some years that are lost. Mem, an unlocked electrical signal dependent on the external variable on a right tofu growing through the path of remembrance. Its appearance changed to Philia, but the mother body memory data was lost. Wait, at the end of the dead loop, its appearance changed to Philia, and we had Philia here, right? So her appearance actually changed to Serene. This is like confirmed in this. That is redacted. That is us. What about March? Unknown entity, no anomaly detected. And Dan Hang. An astral computer, Legos Iron Tomb. 12 factors we know. Containment measures. That is actually so freaking cool. That redacted text reminded me of something funny. About what? Data for the... So when we go into the anomaly, this is where it happens. And this is like the main core flames we figured out. So definitely Mem is serene. We've learned that. And we still have this one missing piece, this 1%. And that opens up the book that we were figuring out earlier. Wow. The FBI on their site had some redacted pages, but it was a black text over the words, so if you copied the paragraphs and pasted them elsewhere, they would reveal the redacted part. Okay. Mem exe. I really like this idea that we actually look at this as if we were looking at the game. We don't need a software engineer, we have a software engineer at home, right? Actually, what the heck? So we have so much still to experience. Like, even here, we still need to, like, light up some stuff. Ah, no, never mind. We actually covered that one. And we got a new avatar. That is so weird. And where's March? There's something I need to tell you, that at this very moment my memories are finally whole. After watching so many fragments, my past is finally coming into focus little by little. Or maybe you knew the answer long ago, didn't you? Where are you going? I was the first and the only one who could finally meet you. But will we now be in like actual final loop? No more loops? We can finally wrap up the story? And we can finally free Amphorius? Is that the missing 1%? I hated this game. I freaking hated this game. The heck you mean stay tuned to find out what happens next in the upcoming installment? What? What? Don't do me like this. You can't just say that she's coming to Amphorius and then just freaking not show her again. Ah, but we actually got it. It's Outworld. It's not Evernight, it's not Down, it's Outworld. And we can't find Serene here. Hello? Only fright, tough, surprise expressions, just like with the memories recorded. Are you serene or mean? You must be really perplexed. I wish I could give you answers, but I feel helpless about the current situation too. It's me. Don't you recognize me? Or did I really change that much? It's pretty unbelievable for me too. It's like I had a long dream. Serene's memories and Mem's memories, they all tangled together, but when I woke up, they were only broken fragments left. I can no longer remember those 30 million cycles. Luckily, I still remember my Chrysos air companions from this life and you. Do you know, actually, I learned something from TikTok, and basically, like, all the people that we saw dying in the previous installments, you can actually see their ghost and interact with them. So we need to do that. Not today, but we need to do that. Cast off your heavy feelings, take a deep breath, and as a memento of our reunion, please allow me to offer you a gift. 3, 2, 1. You're gonna be kidding me. Oh, you gotta be kidding me, Serene. You can come find me anytime. Can I talk to the millions of dead literals? No. Wait, I can investigate it? Nothing happens. So we are actually in the outer world for once. Wait, where was she? She said I can always meet her, and there she is. She's asleep. Let's try to interact with her again. Wait until she wakes. It's you. Why didn't you warn me? Did I keep you waiting? Well then, what should we do next? What about if I want to do something meaningful? If only we could capture it somehow. A photo stone, alright, it can save the scene perfectly. It's okay, give it a little tap. Sometimes small miracles happen in Edith's Elysia. The lightning just right. Mind if I give it a try? You're the star of the whole scene. Didn't see that coming, did you? Candid shots are way more fun than posed ones. That expression was perfect. It's just a shame the photostone really can't save any more memories. No miracle this time. No, but it means I could pretend I looked a little slimmer, okay. A bit chubbier. I'm kind of sad that she's so important for the story, right? And they didn't give her... they didn't give her voice lines for that one. What is this? A solitary leopard. Manliest seal. Okay, let's... Before we finish for today, I thought that we're gonna not be able to, like, finish the story, but this was surprisingly short. I mean, we didn't read like everything, but 3 hours for entire story. They don't die in a way. And now it became even more complicated with all the time travel stuff. So, I promised that we will go through this when we have it finished, and we kinda have it finished, and I mentioned in the in our plans for this week that tomorrow we will be doing the story wrap-up. So my idea for tomorrow is that we will actually read all the stories from the books. The rest we kind of glimpsed through, we don't need to go through. But we will go through all the stories from the book. We will do Imaginarium Theater, and then we will do some truck driving.